Welcome back, everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside of the Rogers studio for another episode of Attack Wrap. I'm your host, Matt Sanderson. We have Kaleb, Pearson, and Sam Sedley in studio with us tonight, who we will be catching up with in just a little bit. Well, needless to say, it was kind of a rough week for the Owen Sound Attack. This is the first time that they've actually lost 3 in a row since March of 2019 into last season, at the latter half of last season. So it's a little bit of maybe a learning curve for this young Attack squad. They got a big road trip coming up. We'll give you all that and more in just a couple minutes. For now, though, let's take a look around what's going on around the Ontario Hockey League. We start with the OHL On the Run Player of the Week, and it comes as Jan Jenik from the Hamilton Bulldogs. He's got 43 points on the year right now, 5 goals, 10 points in 3 games. He's a 19-year-old from Nymburk, Czech Republic, and he's had a point in every game that he's played right now. So he's got 43 on the season. He's got at least 1 point in all 20 games that he's played up to this point. He's a +7 on the year. And one of the big reasons why the Hamilton Bulldogs are kind of keeping with the pack in the Eastern Conference there. We'll flip over to the Huron Tractor Player of the Week, given to the overager Matt Phillip, a milestone for him. He had 2 goals in 3 games, 100 points in his OHL career, 50 goals, and he's 1 game away from the 200 games mark played in the Ontario Hockey League. So obviously for a lot of these guys, even the 200, 250 mark is a huge feat. So congratulations to Matt Phillip. We'll see him participating in that on the road trip, this upcoming one against the Saginaw Spirits starting off. He's played in 20 games so far, 13 points on the year, and +4 on the season. We'll go over to the standings. As we flip over to standings now, Owen Sound sitting in 7th place. Keep in mind that is the lowest that Owen Sound has gone this season. They've got a little bit of a buffer there between them and the Sarnia Sting. 3 points separate those 2 teams, but the London Knights are only a point ahead of them. The Guelph Storm are 2 points ahead of them. And the Erie Otters, who are actually in 2nd place in the West right now, they are 3 points ahead of them. So as you can see, it's fully logjam from the first spot of 27 all the way down to the Kitchener Rangers with 18 points. That's a total of 9 points that separates 1 from 10. That's how much of a logjam it still is. And we have teams every single day flip-flopping back and forth in the standings. So we'll see how that pans out. We go over to the Eastern Conference, and it's the Ottawa 67s that have 30 points on the year. They are 15-6 right now. Behind them are the Sudbury Wolves, 14-8-1, 29 points on the year, along with the Peterborough Petes and the Oshawa Generals. So all 3 of those teams deadlocked at 29 points. Then it's the Barrie Colts. Then it's the Hamilton Bulldogs, who have a 10-12-1 record, and then the Niagara Ice Dogs, who are 7-11-3-1, the Mississauga Steelheads, the North Bay Battalion, and then the Kingston Frontenacs. And both of those teams are tied for last place in the Ontario Hockey League. Obviously, the Kingston Frontenacs, we just saw them the other night at the Bayshore as they downed the Attack, and the Frontenacs looking to kind of capitalize off of that win. We'll go over to league scorers. And Arthur Kaleb of the Hamilton Bulldogs, we talked about his counterpart, and Jan Jenik, who sits in that 4th place spot right now. He's got 43 points. Well, Kaleb's got 44, and he's tied with Quentin Byfield, along with Connor McMichael tied with Janik. And then you have Sean Jostling with the Sarnia Sting, 4 points separating him from Cole Perfetti. Then you have Marco Rossi, and then Tyson Forster from the Colts, and Pavel Gogolev from the Guelph Storm. And then there's 5 other players in that 10 spot, all tied at 31 points right now. And for attack scoring, Aiden Dudas leading the way, 27 points on the season for him, 10 goals, 17 assists. Sergei Popov, 5 behind him, and then Brady Lyle, two behind him. Brady Lyle having a stellar season as an overage defenseman. And then you have Barrett Kerwin, Adam McMaster, Dalen Grew, Matt Phillip, Carter Robertson, Ethan Burrows, and Andrew Parrott round out your top 10 for attack scores. We'll go over to the CHL teams and players of the week. And as we bring these up, we start with the forwards, and it's Jan Jenik from the Hamilton Bulldogs. As we already mentioned, 10 points in 3 games. Joseph Garefa, former Kitchener Ranger, now Ottawa 67, 9 points in 3 games for him. Maverick Bourque from Shawinigan, he's got 9 points in 3 games. In your defensive pairings, you've got Jeremy Poirier, who is actually an upcoming 2020 OHR NHL draft prospect from St. John's. He's got 6 points in 3 games, along with Liam Ham from the Mississauga Steelheads. And then Jonathan Lemieux from Val-d'Or. He's got a 2-0 record this week with a 192 goals against average and 953 save percentage for him. So he had a very, very good week. Also, we will go over, we have a special news from the Wawanesa toy drive coming to the Ontario Hockey League. And basically what it is, you're just donating a toy for needy children. All donors will be entered in a grand prize draw for a trip for 2 tickets to Kelowna for the Memorial Cup this season. So if you are just able to donate a toy, you automatically get your name put into that draw, and that'll be December 10th at the Bayshore when you'll have the Wawanesa toy drive coming to Owen Sound. And then November is Special Olympics month. It's league-wide. There's a 50-50 draw. You can donate. You can also go on there to register into the 50-50 draw at specialolympics5050.com. And the draw will happen Monday, December the 2nd at 11 a.m. So, obviously, upcoming games as well. Thursday in Saginaw to take on the Spirit. And then Saturday on the 23rd, there is no home game. It's actually against the Flint Firebirds in Flint. And then you're against Windsor the next day. And then Friday, November the 29th, against the Kitchener Rangers. Next home game, Saturday, November the 30th, to cap off November against the Saginaw Spirit. So a lot of tough games along that stretch. We'll see how the attack can fare. Stay with us. We still have more on the other side of the break. Kaleb Pearson and Sam Sedley will be joining me. Don't go away.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Let's go to work. Our killer left no fingerprints, no witnesses, and no evidence whatsoever. This is next level stuff.
You don't know what this world is like.
I'm wanted for homicide.
This place is full of crazy.
Rex?
Rex.
Rex is picking up on something. It's like we both have this hunch.
When you get hunches, I get nervous.
What's this, good cop, bad cop? You're a good boy.
Hudson and Rex, Tuesdays, 8/7 Central on City TV.
On Rogers TV, we have a reality show like no other. It has a great cast of characters. Some you may have even helped land the role. Each episode has something different. Plans are devised, decisions are made, votes are cast, and money is spent. It's local reality TV that you won't want to miss. And it's exclusive to Rogers cable customers. Catch your municipal council coverage on Rogers TV. Visit rogerstv.com for broadcast details.
Hey everyone, I'm Christina of Homebodies Fitness. Join me for your at-home fitness routine. Let's all get fit together. Only on Rogers TV, Homebodies Fitness.
Welcome back, everybody, inside of the Rogers studio. Matt Sanderson alongside Kaleb Pearson and Sam Sedley. Guys, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so obviously you had a tough day of practice, I assume, coming off of a 3-game losing skid. Kaleb, tell us a little bit about, obviously it was an ideal week for this team. Then I don't know if the coaching staff was able to, or wanted you guys to dial in a little bit more in practice today, but then you got a big upcoming game coming up. Tell us a little bit of what the atmosphere was kind of like.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously learned our lesson this past weekend, but our practices have been really crisp and high intensity, and we're just looking to be better this weekend. Yeah,
well, Sam, this is your first year in the Ontario Hockey League. From your thoughts, from what you were experiencing, is this kind of the first time this team has really gone through adversity this season? You guys got off to a pretty good start.
Yeah. I think it's the first time. Hopefully, it's the only time. We just got to stick to our systems and follow the game plan.
Yeah, you guys have a couple big games coming up. 2 against the Saginaw Spirit. You've also got 1 against the Flint Firebirds, Windsor Spitfires, and then obviously the Kitchener Rangers. Kind of in that mix over your next 5 games coming up. Let's kind of first go into this Barrie Colts game. Kaleb, we'll start there on Thursday. That was a game that I felt that was definitely winnable for you guys. It seemed like it just kind of at some point got away from you.
Yeah, I think our coaches are really preaching that we got to play full 60 minutes. In that game we came back but around the 3rd period, but it was just a little too late. But I think we know what we got to do for this weekend, and we're for sure going to do it.
All right, so let's take a look at the Thursday night game against the Barrie Colts.
Over the last 3 games, power play to start, plenty of talent here, just simplify things, get pucks to the net, hope you can turn that around.
Picard going to the net, goes to the save, and it's in. Following up is Frasca, dropping it back to Parrott. Dudas receives the pass, his shot scores. Steed has that poked away, big old backhand, and that goes over the net. Side of the goal, Frasca, Picard, somehow that stays out, and the rebound is in the net. Face-off won by the attack. McMaster takes the shot, scores. Continue to go at it. Puck to the point. Allen shot, scores. Carrying it in over to Hadfield. His shot, stop, rebound, scores. Ryan Del Monte, and that's his first career OHL goal, and it's a beauty. It's now 4-2. Over to Forrester. Tucker. Clark waits down low for Picard. Wilms scores. Wilms takes it away. He banks it in. Jason Wilms back-to-back goals. Nick Chenard making his first save of the night. Pearson the other way. Stop. Rebound. Scores. Robertson trying to get around Piercy. Holds. Passes across and scores. Has it deflected, ends up at the point. Hill takes the shot, blocked. It's in front of the net. Totora across to Porco, and he scores! Lyle skates it ahead, gives it to Popov. Popov quickly over to Phillip, and one-timer under the bar and in. And the Colts get it out. Picard chasing after it with an empty cage. Matej Picard will tuck that one home. And that should just about do it. It's now an 8-5 hockey game as Picard has his first of the night.
So obviously not the most ideal game for you guys. Sam, obviously, you guys, from the back end point of view, it was a pretty rough night for your defensive squad.
Yeah, you never want to see 8 goals go up on the board. I thought the first half of the game was pretty good. We just kind of slipped away from our systems and let them pull away, I guess.
Yeah, it's obviously adjustments here and there that you can definitely make. The next night, obviously a lot closer, Kaleb. It's a 4-3 loss in overtime to the Guelph Storm. That was definitely a winnable game for you guys. Guelph got off to a hot start. You guys scored your first or your final 2 goals there within the last couple minutes in that third period. So kind of going back to what you were saying about 60 minutes, unfortunately, it got away from you guys in OT.
Yeah, again, we got to learn to play a full hockey game, but we came out, first period was really good, and I think the game just slipped away from us in the second, but we kind of picked it up back in the third.
All right, so let's take a look at Friday night's game against the Gulf Storm.
Here's Woolley, a drive kicked away by Nico Dawes as Woolley got lots of velocity on that one. Sikic with McFarland, across for McFarland, wrist shot knocked down by Matt Goose to the rebound. It's collected by Popoff. Popoff on the rush. Trying to find his way through, and he does. The back hit coming across. Nico Dawes with a glorious save. Drew back looking for Popoff, broken up by Guelph, and here's Gogolev on a breakaway, in alone, make the backhand, scores! Gogolev with a nifty looking goal for Guelph to open the score. Help coming from Wilson. Here's Guelph on the puck. Waitman scores! Right on the blocker side. Who strips into the puck. Sound getting it back. Here's Grew, a shot, scores! Dalen Grew with his 8th of the year to make it 2-1. Stevenson to Gogolev. Takes his time, fed in for Ralph, open it, scores! Cedric Ralph, power play goal, 3-1. 12th score. Third period is going down, trying to apply some pressure here. Robertson across. Oh, shot, scores! It's McMaster, comes right back to make it 3-2. 38 seconds, here's Lyle. He'll drop it for Dudas. Low shot knocked down. Backhand score! Matthew Phillip, top shelf, ties the game at 3 with 30.1 seconds on the clock. Off the draw, back to Chayka. Trying to get away from Kaleb Pearson, who's working him over. Puck along the boards, and here's Chayka, finds himself in the clear. Scores! Daniel Chayka, overtime hero tonight as Guelph wins.
And Kaleb, obviously a little bit of a tough one there for you, being on kind of the defensive end of that. The puck obviously seemed like it squeezed past, and then they find Chayka coming in there. Is that kind of just one of those, another learning curve for you guys of you stuck with things, but then it just kind of wasn't enough in that third period or in that overtime?
Yeah, I think we've seen ourselves in that position a couple times this year now, but we know how to score, and we just need to learn not to get ourselves in that position and just play our game.
And even if you do get in yourselves in that position, try to climb out of that position.
Yeah, exactly.
Sam, then you go over to Saturday night's game. It's against the Kingston Frontenacs, and even though you're a rookie in this league, I'm pretty sure that all these vets have told you you can't take any team lightly.
No.
And that's certainly one of the things that we saw from the Kingston Frontenacs. We'll show you that game, and then we'll get a little bit of reaction from those highlights as well.
Into the air off the blocker of Chenard. I don't think he knew where it was. Battle in the corner, and coming out of it, the Frontenacs trying to maintain possession. Back to the point, shot by Bratney, scores! Deflected through the slot. Might have been tipped by Shane Wright. Bratney fired it from the point, and the Master setting the screen in front is Grew. Seed, McMaster into the high slot. Pass across, up in the air, it scores! It'll be Barrett Kerwin's goal. Not how he drew it up, but he'll take it, and the attack ties the game.
Another good look after that. No, they're not far away from finding the back of the net here.
You saw Kaleb Pearson going to the bench. Looked like he was bleeding from the mouth. There was no call on the high stick. Here's a shot, they score! Perrick on the power play as we enter the final minute of period number 2, and the save is made. Wright got to the loose puck. Bratney across. King gonna shoot again, he scores! Nick King, another power play goal for the Kingston Frontenacs. They've got the breathing room. They're up 3-1. So netminder Ryan Dugas makes 41 saves, and the Kingston Frontenacs close one out. A happy bunch heading back to Kingston. The Fronts win here tonight. They defeat the Owen Sound Attack 3-1, their second win of the season, first regulation win. And the Frontenacs climb out of the Eastern Conference.
So, Kaleb, we'll start with you with this one. One of those things, it seemed like it was a pretty good game for you guys. You guys got a lot of shots on net early on, really testing the netminder Dugas. It seemed like different things just weren't going that way. You even look at that call there where there was no call on the high sticking for you, and there was you were mentioning the fact that there was blood that was drawn and there was nothing that was called, but I guess it's just kind of the way some of these hockey games are sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to rely on the refs to win the game for us, and for the shots wise, I think we need to stay away from the perimeter stuff and get inside the dots and just get to the net, and hopefully some more will go in for us.
Yeah, absolutely, and keep in mind, like, when we're talking about all this, we're making it sound like it's a lot worse than it is. It's a 3-game skid that you guys are currently on right now. You're like 5 or 6 points away from the first place spot in the Western Conference. Sam, it's one of these things where I guess this team grows as a whole, and I think it's really going to show that this weekend on this road trip for you guys, eh?
Yeah, this is a big weekend for us. We just can't get down on ourselves from those 3 points because the East or the West is so close. A couple wins could get us back up first, second place, so we just can't get down and have a big weekend.
Kaleb, what are your thoughts on kind of how packed this Western Conference is? It's kind of crazy with every win that somebody has, they're jockeying up and down the standings. Have you really seen much of that before? I think this is the first time in a while that it's really been this tight.
Yeah, I mean, every team's a good team. So I mean, every night's gonna be like a first place tilt, I guess. So we just got to play our game, and we know that we're good enough, and we'll be fine.
Obviously, you came into this team last year kind of in the situation that Sam is in this year. How important was it for you as a young guy trying to learn the ropes and getting connected with the team on these long road trips like the one you'll have coming up?
Yeah, I mean, road trips are a time for us to bond and just get to know one another a lot better. It's just a lot of fun. Hopefully, we can come out with a couple points too.
Absolutely. So now let's go and kind of learn a little bit about you, Sam. I think there's a lot of people that still don't know who exactly Sam Sedley is, all right? So tell us a little bit about yourself, where kind of your hockey, maybe the hunger from hockey started for you, and where that led you to all the way with the Owen Sound Attack.
Well, I started skating when I was 3 in St. Mary's. I actually started off by playing ringette. And a couple of years of ringette gave me some wheels, so I jumped into hockey. And I played tyke and novice in St. Mary's, and then I went to the Huron-Perth Lakers first year Adam and played 7 years there and got drafted this past year to the Owen Sound Attack.
What was it kind of like knowing that first time that you got drafted, you got that call from GM Dale DeGray?
It's just a sigh of relief, just to hear your name. It's everyone's dream.
Now, Kaleb, do you guys pay overly too much attention to kind of some of these younger guys coming up behind you? And what were your thoughts on hearing you guys got a caliber of player of kind of like Sam Sedley in a pretty good spot as well?
Yeah, I mean, of course, we pay attention to it. Once someone gets drafted to the Attack, they're part of our family. And just getting someone like Sam, he's a good guy, he's funny. Just great all-around guy.
Sam, I know definitely this year, this defensive core is a lot more offensive-minded than it has been in years past. Maybe last year you kind of saw Sean Dursey come up in the rush when he was still with the team, Marcus Phillips, vice versa. But now you guys are really solely based on creating a lot of chances, a lot of opportunities. Do you kind of see yourself adapting well into that?
Yeah, I think my game's more offensive. I mean, our D-core is pretty good. So I'm just trying to learn from the older guys and pick up any hints. I'm trying to get better in my D zone, though. That's where it really comes down to.
So when you're taking on some of your teammates in practice, who's maybe the hardest guy to defend?
Probably Brady Lyle.
Lyle?
He's a big body.
Yeah. Kaleb, the first time you saw Brady Lyle was someone who's obviously learning something from Joey Hishen's skills corp there with his hands. But what were your thoughts on kind of what Brady Lyle can do with his hands? He's got some silky smooth mitts there.
Yeah, I mean, I skated with him a couple times in the summer with Hish, doing work on our mitts, I guess, with skills corp. But yeah, no, he's a really good player. He's dynamic, and he can really show off his skills.
And for yourself this season, I know when the last time you were on a kind of attack wrap, it was one of those things where you wanted to really have kind of a breakout year. You've got 7 points on the season, kind of maybe not the way that you've gone. I saw even a couple times in Saturday night's game, there's a couple opportunities where you kind of put your head in the air of almost frustration. What's it been like for you so far with kind of adjusting right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping for some of those shots on net to go in soon, but I'm just trying to stick with it. Teammates are helping me out, and I'm just looking at the final prize, really get wins, and just have a long run in the playoffs.
With I know head coach Alan Letang for a while, he kind of had the lines set. Those were the lines he was rolling out every night, kind of because of the way that maybe things haven't gone as planned for you guys so far. He's mixing and matching some things. In that kind of situation, you being an offensively minded, skilled forward, what is it like kind of playing with, next thing you know, somebody that you haven't played with really too much yet, and kind of trying to get adjusted to them, whereas you're already so adjusted to your regular line mates?
Yeah, I mean, we gotta really how do I say, good depth lineup. Yeah. Like, everyone's a good player, and I'm happy to play with anyone on this team, and anyone can really create offense. It's just we just really need to focus on our D zone, be strong defensively, and offense will come.
All right, we do have a caller on the line. Hi, who is this tonight?
It's Glenn.
It's Glenn.
Yes, I want to ask a question. When your attack people score, do they get a prize for that period, or what? When
you guys, like, do you guys? Oh, maybe he means like in the locker room or something afterwards.
No, not necessarily a prize for the if we score, but we have this thing called Master Corporal Kill. It's for a penalty, or it's actually for when we went to Meaford at the military base. It's for our PK. It's a thing just about blocking shots and trying to stay perfect on the PK, and that just gets handed out. And also we have an Army jacket for player of the game and hardest worker. So.
Because I noticed when I watched the game that somebody gets knocked down for some reason.
I'm not entirely sure. Maybe just post games or post goal celebration, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Glenn. Well, we appreciate you calling in. Actually, that was a very good question to ask. That's kind of going a little bit inside the attack locker room there. So thank you very much, Glenn, for calling.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Bye.
So let's quickly throw out our trivia question here as we go to break. Give some of our viewers the time to get the answer for this. We'll start with our first one with Sam Sedley. Mark, if you can quickly bring it up. What GOJHL team did Sam Sedley play 4 games with last season? That's who we're looking for. What GOJHL team did Sam Sedley play 4 games with last season? That's what we're looking for. He kind of gave the hint early on when he said where you started playing ringette. So if you maybe can rewind on that, you might be able to find that. But stay with us. We still have a lot more on the other side of the break. More of Attack Wrap here.
Center Ice, you get a premium ticket to the games you want every night of the season. With up to 37 out-of-market games a week to choose from, you'll get more goals, more saves, more non-stop action from the teams you love. NHL Center Ice, part of the Rogers Super Sports Pack. All this for only $35.95 a month. Order through your remote on Channel 431 or call 1-888-ROGERS-1 today.
We're the generation that had it all. We're the generation that had the music and the moves. We're the generation that had a dream. We came together to feed the world's children. We came together to protect them. And in this dangerous world, we have to keep on saving them and protecting them, even when we're gone. If we remember UNICEF in our will, we'll be the generation who left a better world for children. Please visit uniceflegacy.ca.
You're invited to join us on the couch, first Tuesday of the month for the 5th anniversary season of your loved local LGBTQ talk show.
Alongside Kaleb Pearson and Sam Sedley. Before we get into our segment of Bears Den, where we actually have a caller on the line with us, we have Andrew on the phone. Andrew, how are you tonight?
Good, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Do you have the answer to our trivia question?
Is it the St. Mary's Lincolns?
It is the St. Mary's Lincolns, yes. So congratulations, you win a pair of tickets to the next upcoming game against the Saginaw Spirit.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. So yes, the St. Mary's Lincolns. Only played 4 games with them last season.
Yeah.
What kind of was that like?
It's a faster game for sure.
Yeah.
Bigger guys, physical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get right into Bears Den here. So Sam, this is your first time on. Kaleb, you kind of know the ropes already. Basically, there's no prize here or anything. It's just bragging rights between some of these guys. Some of the guys like Aiden and Dalen, they take it a little bit more seriously. But basically, I'll go and I'll kind of ask you guys questions. It might be about yourself, might be about Kaleb. And your job is to write down the answer of what you think the most possible right answer is. There'll be some wild cards kind of about the team that you can write down, and then we'll just kind of see how many you get right and how many you get wrong. All right?
Sounds good.
Okay, so we'll start into things early on here, and we'll go with how many siblings does Kaleb Pearson have? That's a no-brainer. Did you ask him in the car or something?
No.
Flip this over. So 1 sibling. All right, he's
We're
right
from the
there.
same hometown.
Oh,
Yeah,
fair.
we're both from St. Mary's.
Both from St. Mary's. Okay. Did you know kind of Sam beforehand?
Yeah, we worked out in the summer, so I'd always drive him to our gym. So.
Okay, nice. All right. Nice. So we'll go with. We'll start with what is Sam Sedley's favorite pregame meal?
Do I write it down too?
Yeah. If I had like a mirror here, you can like see it and you get all of the answers. All right. Flip these over, show the camera. Chicken parm. Impressive. Are you kind of surprised that he knows that one?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. So why chicken parm?
I don't know. It's just, it's good.
Yeah.
Good.
I know obviously you have kind of a chicken base really with a lot of these guys, but I think, Chenard's the other one that likes chicken parm, isn't he?
That's where billets go to. So.
Yeah. Okay. How'd you know it was chicken parm?
Just good mind on. I know this guy like a book.
Oh,
so.
okay. That's fair. Where did Kaleb Pearson play his junior hockey?
I'm not even gonna write down.
Stratford.
And St. Mary's for a couple times. Couple games.
Couple games, kind of like.
Ooh. I don't know if that counts or not.
All right, so with Stratford, 3 in a row, that's pretty good. We'll go with this question's for Kaleb. Sam, I want you to write down the right answer. What is Sam Sedley's go-to beverage at Tim Hortons?
Yeah, I don't know how to spell.
It's okay.
I don't even know how to spell it anyways.
All right.
I'll just do V as in vanilla.
Okay.
Ville iced coffee.
Vanilla iced coffee. Very well.
Yeah.
That's good.
He usually buys my my Tim Hortons. So
Oh, that's kind of nice.
I know his order.
Yeah. All right. Boy, you guys know each other a lot more than I thought you would have, to be honest. Like,
Oh yeah.
Okay. We'll go with what is Sam Sedley's, or when did Sam Sedley record? You got your first point this year, right?
Yes.
Yes. When did Sam Sedley get his first point this season?
Like, who were we playing?
Pre-game, like regular season? Or?
Regular season, yeah.
It was on one of my goals, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna say. Is it?
No way.
Oh yes.
Barry.
Yes.
Wow. That was in the big.
It was on one of my goals. So.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't think I scored in that game though.
Wow. Pretty impressive. All right. Let's amp this up a notch. How many points did Kaleb Pearson get last season with the Attack?
Regular season, not playoffs.
That was really close. 28. 14 goals, 14 assists.
Cycle.
Darn.
All right. Okay. How many points did Sam Sedley get last year in minor midget?
It wasn't a lot. I know that. I think.
Do you remember that?
I think.
It's kind of almost terrifying, the fact that Kaleb almost knows you more.
I said 23.
23?
Wasn't it 24? Or?
I think it was 24.
Yeah,
that's just a heartbreaker.
That's all right.
That was close though.
Yeah, it was close. All right. We'll go with, this is going to be a wild card question. I'm going to ask you what your most maybe embarrassing hockey story is. You don't have to write it down. Tell me it's maybe something funny, something that happened to you, junior hockey somewhere.
Mine would have to be a couple of years ago against Cambridge. We were down by 1. We had the pressure on them and everything, and I got the puck at the point and toe picked with an empty net and gave them a 2-on-0 the other way. So.
Ooh. Did they score?
Yes, they did.
That's tough.
I don't really know. I don't know if it's that embarrassing because I don't have that many.
You're sick, eh?
Dude, just even something funny.
Last year, or not last year, when I was in Stratford, it was teddy bear toss night. I got the goal and celebrated so hard I jumped into the glass and glass popped out.
Really?
I had to, yeah.
Don't even know your own strength.
I know, I'm pretty strong.
Wow. So. It's like, did it break?
Yeah, I popped out of the stanchion, so they had to, yeah.
Wow.
Big body.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty big.
I think you're intimidated by the amount of teddy bears that there was.
Yeah, I know.
That's the thing.
I know.
Okay. We'll go with, you guys obviously play NHL?
Yep. Of course.
Okay. We'll go with, what team does Sam Sedley hate playing against in NHL? Maybe he just has bad luck against them. His marker's starting to die on you.
Yeah.
That's okay. Flip these over. Toronto, yeah, you can see the Leafs there. It's very faint. Yep, right there. There it is. Just not very good against Toronto, eh?
No, they just got a good offense.
Yeah.
Can't stop.
Only if they could actually apply that in real life, eh?
I know.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Pretty good team, though.
Yeah. All right, we'll go with Kaleb Pearson's favorite type of music. Flip them over. Did you grow up kind of in the country of?
I'm not really. I was in St. Mary's, but I was kind of on the outskirts a bit. But I was in, so like right on the edge almost.
So I think St. Mary's is kind of more of a real country town, though. Essentially,
yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
A lot of hicks there. A lot of like.
Yeah, that's
sure.
fair. Would yours be the same country? Yours is a little different.
He's more
probably
of a rap guy.
Rap?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's fair. Let's go with the guy that thinks that he's the funniest guy in the locker room, but really isn't in the attack dressing room. Maybe he tries too hard, Sam. Tries to be funny. He's just guys are just like no.
Jeez.
All right, flip them over. Carter, Sam Sedley.
Yeah, right.
Sam Sedley. Apparently you're not overly funny, Sam.
Apparently.
You try too hard.
Apparently.
You said Carter Robertson.
Yeah.
Explain to us that.
He's got his cape on always.
Pretends that he's a superhero.
Yeah.
Sorry. Maybe you should take a couple lessons out of Dalen Grew's book.
Yeah.
Here, Dalen's like
he's a funny guy.
Guy.
Yeah.
Okay. I just recently started throwing this question in for a couple weeks. Currently this coach is leading 4-0 in points, but who's the funniest coach in this on this team? Joey Hishin, coming from Sam Sedley. And Skills Corp. So Hishin, yes. So Joey's the funniest guy.
He tries to be.
Tries to be? Okay.
Yeah.
Does he? I hear he has his own name tag on his locker now.
Oh yeah, and Sam has a couple autographs of his too.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
From the illustrious Joey Hishin.
Yes, he's an idol of mine.
All right, we'll do a couple more here for you guys. We'll go with. Let's see. It's coming up to the Christmas season. Sam, what is one of the I don't want to say weirdest, but kind of like the most unexpected Christmas presents you ever got? Maybe it was something you just weren't expecting, or it's like, oh, I'm kind of surprised I got this.
Maybe like my first Xbox. Because my parents said I was never getting an Xbox or like a PlayStation or whatever, and Santa brought it, so.
Santa brought it, look at that. Kaleb, yourself?
I never really have gotten anything like unexpected, I guess.
Okay.
Like, I usually get what's on my list from Santa, but I got my brother this one shirt that when he tried it on, we found out that it was a girl's shirt that I bought for him, but thought it was a guy's shirt.
In the guy's section?
Yeah, so he had to take that back immediately.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm pretty sure he's able to forgive you about that one, but you almost kind of wish that you did it on purpose.
Oh yeah, it's the thought that counts.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. All right. I think, Mark, you said we do have somebody on the line here. We do have another caller on the line. Hi, who's this?
This is Jeff Hicks.
Hi, Jeff.
Yes.
What kind of questions you got these guys today?
I just wanted to say hi to both the boys and what a great job they're doing. And I had a question for Kaleb.
All right.
I just heard his comment on, he said there's a lot of Hicks in St. Mary's. And I just, a little trivia, how many Hicks could he name or Sam?
That's a unique one.
I could name Jeff, Sonia, Jenna, Riley. I'm out.
Kaleb, what about you?
Yeah, he's covered most of them, but my aunt is actually a Hicks too.
Okay.
Lori, Caitlin, Ryan, Sam, then we got Colton, Landon, and then there's one more, I forget the name though. It's my little cousin. Dang, I forget. No, it's not.
Well,
stumped. I forget. I'm gonna get in trouble for that though.
When you actually when you said that this was you had a lot of Hicks in St. Mary's, you're saying it. Jeff, are you actually calling from St. Mary's?
Yes, I am. We just recently moved to St. Mary's, yeah.
Oh, very nice. Look at that. So we have Jeff calling from St. Mary's, and Jeff, are you as impressed as I am with these guys with how many Hicks they know?
I am totally proud of both of them. They're, both great guys. I'm proud of both of them. Yep.
All right. Well,
good job, boys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Jeff, for calling in. So I will be honest, that one went right over top of my head when you originally said it. I didn't realize you were talking about like the last name Hicks. So when he mentioned it, I was like, how are they going to do that? I'm assuming that you're both tied pretty closely to the Hicks family then, eh?
Yeah.
Cousins or relatives or whatever, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So a lot of Hicks in St. Mary's. Wow, that is a unique one. I like that one. That was good. Okay, all right. We'll do one more question here for you guys. Let's go with what was the name of your first pet, Kaleb?
I gotta guess this.
You do.
Know this?
Hold this. Doriation.
Oh my goodness.
By Lucky, my dog?
Yeah.
But no, not at all. You are.
Not even close with Dory. But Lucky, is Lucky still?
No, he's not with us anymore.
Oh, okay. So that was, now what's do you have another dog?
Yeah, we have a mini bulldog named Sid.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, you guys did pretty good there. It was good. You went on a pretty good streak until Sam had to kind of break it here, but
unreliable.
That's okay.
My bad.
That's okay. Well, we've learned that there are a lot of Hicks in St. Mary's. Well, we actually have an interview with head coach Alan Letang, who we caught up with after the Kingston Frontenacs game. Let's see kind of the words that he had to say about that week for the Owen Sound attack.
Mark McKelvey standing ringside following the Owen Sound Attacks defeat tonight against the Kingston Frontenacs, joined by head coach Alan Letang. And coach, coming into tonight's game, it was your third game in 3 nights. You guys had dropped 2 in a row. What did you get from your team tonight, and what were you expecting coming in off those 2 losses last night, especially the one last night where you guys fought back to at least force overtime?
Yeah, I didn't get the compete that we needed to, to beat a determined and very determined Kingston team. They came in and they executed a pretty good game plan, made it real tough on us. We weren't tired. We were just not willing to get to the areas we needed to get to score. We can throw 30, 40, 50 shots at a goalie, and if there's no screens, if there's no rebounds, if there's no one in around in the inside, you're not going to score any goals.
You mentioned fatigue maybe not being an issue. Then what do you guys have to do? Is it something that has changed from the start of the year to now, where at the start of the year you guys were finding the back of the net? Is it just about getting to those dirty areas?
Yeah, it's teams get better as the year goes on. Goalies get better. We benefit maybe a little bit from some success early, but again, word's out on the attack. If you keep them to the outside and you're hard on them, some of their guys maybe, or as a team, maybe they're not willing to go to those areas. And it's the recurring theme everywhere, right? You look at teams in the NHL that high skill but don't want to compete at the right area. And I don't doubt that our room wants to win, but it's real different when you want to win or prepare to win, and we've got to start preparing to win on a daily basis.
So looking ahead, you guys are going to head on to the road now. Do you think that can be a positive for this team to get away from home and, like you said, trying to do things the right way?
Yeah, I mean, we've got lots of character in our room. There's lots of guys that are, will step up. I think it's important we get on the road just to kind of have some bonding together and kind of hang out and get a little bit closer. And you know what? Sometimes you go on the road and you maybe play a little bit simpler, and you have to grind out a point or two, and hopefully we can find some success there. But we'll have to forget this one pretty quick, but we'll have to learn from it and prepare to go into Saginaw, which is not an easy building at all to go in and play in.
All right. Well, thanks for doing this, and best of luck next weekend.
Thank you.
So obviously, head coach Alan Letang, a lot of in-depth responses there. Essentially, just got to play better. He said I wasn't looking for the compete level that I kind of wanted. Kaleb, when you hear something like that, I think there's a part of it where you understand, you respect Alan Letang even that much more, in the sense of he's got a purpose, he's got something that he looks for every single night in and night out.
Yeah, I mean, everybody looks up to Tanger, and it's what he said, the compete level, it's an easy fix. It's something everyone can control, and it's something everyone will control eventually down this season, and it's what we need everyone to do to be successful.
Sam, he mentioned it early on in the week, and Caleb's mentioned it. I've heard Mark Woolley mention it, the complete 60 minutes. I know it sounds almost cliche. I know it sounds almost pretty simple, but how important is it for you guys to really dial in 60 minutes?
It's really important. I mean, if you take a shift off, that could change the whole game. Yeah, I just think it's either start off slow and finish faster, the opposite. But
yeah,
with Big 60, it's a huge part in hockey.
All right, we'll now throw out our second trivia question here. This is for another pair of tickets to November 30th game against the Saginaw Spirit. When did Kaleb Pearson score his first OHL goal? Name the date and the team. We were kind of talking a little bit about this before we went on to air. I'll give you a hint. It's against a Midwest Division rival. And do you still remember that first goal? Is it something that like you never really will forget?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it was set up by it was a pretty easy goal, to be honest, but it was set up by a pretty good hockey player, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody who's gone on to bigger and better things, that's for sure. We only have a couple minutes left here, guys. You're looking at this road trip. Obviously, your coach said it. You guys have been talking about it all night, about the importance of it. You look at a team like Saginaw and how well they do. You've got a guy like Cole Perfetti that you'll be going up against. When you look at the importance of this game, how important, Kaleb, is it for you guys to take this shift by shift and really connect with your passes, really be on point?
Yeah, I mean, we got to be crisp, and that's exactly what Tanger says before every game. Take it shift by shift, period by period. Just be clean, execute, and I think we'll be fine.
Sam, for yourself, along with a lot of these other rookies, obviously mistakes are going to be made. Mistakes are made by every hockey player. How is it important, especially when you guys are on the road like this, for you to adjust, you understand, you make those mistakes, and then kind of move on from there?
Yeah, I think once everyone makes a mistake, they just try to forget it right away. And just mistakes happen, and you just got to bounce back.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, guys, quickly, we're going to go off the board here. Kaleb, I'm going to ask you the most surprising team right now in the Western Conference outside of you guys this season. Kind of maybe a team that's kind of caught you off guard with how well they've done.
I don't really know. Maybe Erie.
Yeah.
They're a strong team, good goaltending. I mean, yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, and Sam, yourself, if there was a team that you kind of had to say, wow, like I'm surprised with, or they're doing pretty well.
Yeah, probably Erie again, honestly.
Yeah.
They don't have the best team on paper, but they play together.
Absolutely. And then obviously you got the Gulf Storm just reeling off the wins that they are. But guys, we wish you all the best. We won't see you for 2 weeks, I guess, until we're back at the Bayshore against the Saginaw Spirit. But we hope that you can compile some wins together, and it's a fun road trip for you guys.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so thanks for joining us again here. We encourage you, feel free definitely to get those phone lines ringing the next time. We did have a couple more callers. Highly encourage them. These guys are more than welcome, or more than willing to answer any questions you have. We'll have 2 more Attack members in studio with us next week. We thank you. Until then, take care.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
That he fell. Whoa, I'm not driving. I'm way too stoned. How are you feeling, Beer?
Oh, since we had that talk, I'm not driving tonight at all.
What about you, Dave?
You only had a couple of drinks.
And only a couple of puffs.
I don't drink and drive. No way I'm getting behind the wheel when I smoked weed, too.
How are we getting home, then?
You can drive, Dave.
Come on, Dave.
Take one for the team, buddy.
Don't let weed and alcohol influence your decision to drive.
Yeah, I need a ride.
Looking for great seats to all the action? Rogers Super Sports Pack delivers. With NBA League Pass, get up to 40 out of market.